Okay, so this video, I wanted to talk about one specific story. I just thought about because I was watching this guy's video. For some reason, this Japanese guy's video asking about the topic was why there are so many prostitutes in Japan or something like that. And it was a good video. I mean, the core of it is that dynamic happens everywhere, just in different forms of ways. But I mean, for overall, it's not. I don't think that's just a Japanese thing. It's just a woman-man exchange thing. The only difference is like places like America, you just don't have readily access to brothels, and America's so fucked up. The brothels that do exist in America, they're like anywhere kind of mainstream. They're charging like $1,000 for an hour with a girl, so it's just completely ridiculous in America. But in the rest of the world, sex is not this glorified thing that costs thousands of dollars. You really like $100 max to get you like model quality women, and literally the rest of the world outside of UK and beat up feminist countries, like the cost of sex is nowhere near as high for prostitution standards go being. But I want to talk about hypergamy does have, there is a limit. Like I said, because every girl isn't like this, and because this story came upon, I was reading his edited comment section where he wrote that like he didn't take into account the total population, because he went to the total population of Japanese prostitutes, right? But he also made note that he didn't go into the ones who maybe like did it for a week and quit, did it for a month and realized like I can't do this, and they just quit and went off and got regular jobs. I'm going to say there's probably that number would probably skyrocket if they factored in how many women like just quit after they tried it, and it's usually not for the reasons like you think it is. Now, the story I have is for a respectable reason, but a lot of times it's because the girls get into fights with other girls. They're jealous because the other girls are taking men in the brothels. It's usually like that type of reason why they quit. It's not usually a good moralistic reason, like, oh, I just can't do this. But the story I have is like that though. With the girl who I knew, that she just couldn't do it. So with my story of where hypergamy does have its limits, and in this term, I'm using hypergamy just in the term of like getting more money from men. It had its limits, okay? Because I'll start out when I first went to the brothel, right? I had friends like in the weirdest places everywhere. So a buddy of mine, he works at he's like a manager at the brothel. So he tells me, I mean, I hear all types of stories, man. like they got it's all types of stories I get from there, because he works there at nights where guys getting drunk. Like, I've never witnessed a fight there, and I've been going there for 3 years. I've never gotten to a fight, never witnessed a fight. I only had a problem with one girl, and they ended up giving me like 3 times my money back through like entry fees and shit like that. So like that was nothing. But so when I would go, there was a girl who was a bartender, and she had like shaved her head. She was a bartender, she had piercings, tattoos. She was like, just, you can tell she was fucked up. All right. But she was a bartender. And every time I would go there, I would go to her to get money through like they do ATM different. Well, in the brothel they do ATM different. Like, they bring it up as a charge on your card and they just go give you the money. So I would always go to her to get money, and she could speak some English. And I thought she was a cool girl. She would talk, and she didn't feel like she had an attitude in her or anything like that. She was generally kind of cool. We would talk, but every time we would talk, it would always go back to yeah, I want more money. I want more money. I want more money. I need more money. I want to buy a house. I want money for a car. I want more money. Because when we would talk, she would tell me stories how like her boyfriend was her boyfriend just dumped her when I met her, and they had tried to have kids like multiple times, and for some reason she kept having miscarriages, and the kids kept she kept having miscarriages, and the boyfriend just got tired of it and dumped her and went off to another girl, and she was just real depressed. So like, you could sense when you would talk to her, like, her whole being in life was to try to, I guess, get like revenge in the world for it, and better herself and buy a house and buy a car. Like, that would, like, I guess, get back at the bad situation. You could sense it, like when how she would talk about it. So and this happened for months. I would go in there, we would talk for a while every time and like hang out. I mean, it wasn't anything awkward. She worked behind the bar, and she was cool. And then so the buddy of mine who works, so he's the manager. Every night we would have conversations about the girls up there. They like, because the girls, they don't use their real names; they use some fake name. And then like now I have some of the girls' Facebooks, and so I know some, like I know the girls who I like. I know their real names because I have their Facebook. And so, but they use fake names like in there type of thing. So we like talk about them, which one, is like some are like married professionals, some are secretaries, some are poor, some are some are married, some women will bring their own daughters in to the brothel to work. So this is why I try to tell men, like women, they don't have that sex is not special to a woman. Okay, it's just another chore to them. You see what I'm saying? Unless you're hitting some shit right or doing something she likes to do, like sex it's really a chore for them until they just get too horny type of thing. But like I said, women, they'll bring their daughters, women will bring their sisters in and work in the same hall. Where women this is what I say, man. Like hanging out in brothels, you see women's nature come out and what they care about, what they want, shit like that. So anyway, back to the girl. Every time I would talk to this girl, I forgot her name, but my buddy, he always knows what I'm talking about whenever I bring her up, because they were real cool, and he fucked her actually, like not as a brothel, but like just because they were like friends. Every time I go in there, the conversation would always come back to, I want more money. I'm just money hungry. Because I asked, like, why are you always here? I'm just trying to get more money. I'm trying to get more money. Trying to get more money. So like months later, I talked to my buddy and I asked about it. And he said, oh yeah, she's working back in the she's working back in the regular part of her. She's fucking dudes for money now. She's a hooker now. I was like, what? Because I couldn't see her like that. You see, like because I had talked to her, I got to know her. I couldn't imagine her doing that. So I remember, so it had been months, like, and every time I would go, I would never see her. But he kept telling me, yeah, she's working back. So I thought he was bullshitting, because I would keep going for like weeks and months and never seen her. So then one time I finally seen her, and she when she was working behind the bar, she's wearing like black pants, red shirt, nothing sexy. Her head was shaved, all that shit like that. And she was working back when I finally seen her working in the actual brothel, she was, dressed in lingerie and all that shit. And it was just so weird because as soon as she seen me, she wanted me to come and talk to her. I was like, yeah, what's up? What's going on? She's like, yeah. Well, we started talking, catching up. Cause this is when I finally seen her working there. I had gone back to America for about 6 months and just came back. And then I seen her. And so yeah, we were catching up, talking, blah, blah, blah. And then she was like trying to fuck for money. And it was just so weird. Like I couldn't do it. Cause like for me personally, and this is just, I think this may be just a me type of thing. Like once I get to know a woman like that, I can't, like if I get to know her too well first, like I understand why women do this with men. It's like the more I talk to a woman and get to know her, the less I can fuck her like a whore, if that makes sense. Like the more I get to get personal with her, the less I can't even see her like that. If anything, she's more like a sister or like a potential wife or something. Like she's off in that territory where like, okay, I respect you type of thing, which is shitty to say, but that's how I'm wired. Like the more I talk to a woman, the more I can't spit in her face. I can't pee on her. The more I talk to her, like I get more of an attachment to like wanting to respect her. So I can't just fuck her. She was like trying to fuck for money. I said, oh no, I'm cool. Like I wanted to fuck her for money because I knew she needed the money and I knew her situation. So I mean, we were friends. I would have helped her out, but I just couldn't fuck her. So I didn't give her any money. I just bounced and left. Anyway, so I talked to my buddy again. Yeah, I always talk to him because he works down there. And I mean, he told I got stories about all types of girls down there. Man, some girls, they literally cannot orgasm unless they're getting gang banged by 10 guys. I've heard, man. Like I said, mothers bringing sisters. It's unbelievable. Like the stories you get down there is unbelievable, man. Like compared to like real life. Like in real life, you'll like stumble here and there on these crazy stories. But there is just a walk of life, and you just get it. So this is why I say like my view on women, it comes from that natural habitat of what they do and what they are. But yeah, that girl, she ended up quitting. I ended up hearing through my buddy, she ended up quitting because she just couldn't do it. Now she likes to get gangbanged by like 10 guys at a time type of shit. But she like, if I had to guess, her situation was like getting used. Okay, getting used like that every day can be difficult for some women. Like even if they're whores, like whores gotta take a break too, man. Like they can't, like once you start getting pounded every day by some random dude, like that shit, and then you gotta get in a bad mood some days, you know, like that shit is rough. And so she quit, and she works like just some regular job. like a regular, she works at a regular job. And when you look at her, like you would never guess she used to do that. You would never guess. You like I said, when I finally seen her, it blew my mind because I just, from talking to her, I never guessed she would have been that type of girl who would have done that, who would have made the conversion from working as a bartender to working, you know, back there. Like now, from my perspective of it, which kind of seems backwards now I think about it, I could see a woman going from working as a hooker to working at the bar, usually because they get too old and they age out, that type of shit. That makes more sense. But seeing them in this context of this culture, watch her go from working from behind the bar to working back there. And then, like I said, I actually talked to her and knew her. Like I never, but that's the thing. Like you never know which woman would like actively go do it. That's the crazy part. Or which woman would do it, you know, as soon as money got a little low. Now they open their holes. Like you never know. You never know which one. And that's the hard part about dealing with women. You never know. Like that quiet librarian is probably taking 3 cocks a night, you know, and again, she's probably getting drunk, smoking a pound of weed and taking 14 cocks. You never, like you just never know, because like women, they don't walk around with signs saying, yeah, I like to get DP'd and, you know, and pissed on. Like they don't walk around, so you never know which one is like that. And I honestly think that's why men just, when they get out, like men, I heard men get on Tinder and they just like every photograph. And just like I understand that, because you never know which girl's going to deep throat the fuck out of your dick and which girl doesn't want to give blowjobs. You don't know. like. But yeah, man, like, so the hypergamy, it can reach a limit. Like some women, they'll finally get to a place and just be like, no, fuck that. It's not worth it. And then other women, they'll get in there and they'll stay until somebody literally kicks them out. Because I'm thinking, there's a handful of old bitches walking around a brothel, you know, 40, 50, maybe not 50. I don't think I've ever seen one that old. But, you know, I say the oldest, probably mid-40s. There's a handful of them. And I got curious a couple times and tried a couple of them out, because my logic on it is, okay, if she's 45 and still doing this, she's probably doing some crazy shit to keep clients coming back. And no, that was wrong. They were worse than the 20-year-olds type of thing. But like everybody has their own taste. Everybody has some guys, they just like, you know, this type of girl. Some guys like that type of girl. Everybody has their own taste. Like my taste is a girl who just pretty much does whatever I want her to do. Like she's just completely, when it comes to sex, just be completely submissive and do what I want you to do. And then after that, I don't care. But my thing is just be submissive as fuck. You know, pretty much just be a punching bag. Not like literally but at least you understand, like for me, it's just be a punching bag. And then like, because I'm sadistic like that. And like I'm sadistic when it comes to sex. So like that's my thing. But everybody has their own different thing, man. But yeah, hypergamy, it definitely does have a limit. And like the guy with the Japan movie, like everything that he was saying is universal. Okay, that's not just Japan. Okay, that's men and women everywhere. Men would, if you give, I say out of every 10 men, if you gave at least 5 of them the option to just pay this, you know, premium to just fuck a bitch that's not, you know, $1,000 or $500, something like that. If it's like a reasonable price, like, you know, the cost of like a night out, $50, $100. If you gave 5 out of 10 men that option to fuck that model over there for $50 or $100, a lot of men would just bypass all the bullshit games and texting and calling, having to meet up over there on Southcutt Street at 7:30. They would skip all that bullshit to just fuck the bitch for the premium price. Like, I guarantee at least 5 out of 10. And yeah, some of them are going to be shy about it at first and blah, blah, blah. But like, once you get the swing of it, like, it's just much more efficient financially and chronologically. It's just much more efficient when you do the total math on getting to know a woman, talking to her. Oh, yeah, I gotta go out. I gotta go buy pizza. I gotta sit with her, but I can't be weird. I can't. No, after all those gymnastics, you can just go to this brothel and just fuck college student quality bitch for $50, $100. Oh yeah, like yeah. I mean, it's no question. It's much less work to go that way. Now, if you're looking for a relationship, then yeah, go deal with bullshit from a regular girl. Totally. If you're trying to have children and a relationship, totally do that. But yeah, man. But the hypergamy, it will have a limit. Like I say, women, and it's like I say, it's usually because, okay, from a brothel standpoint, it's because they get tired of taking a pounding every day like that. Well, and the reality of it is, see, this is why women are shittier in the workforce, because women are not built to take a day in, day out punishment. That's why they're not built for that. Women are really built for, if anything, men are built for full-time work and women are built for part-time work. Women are just not built to take day in, day out required punishment. You see, unless it's like raising children, something that, and the only reason they kind of deal with the raising children is because children ultimately, want mommy all the time. So it's that attention that's kind of like offsetting that to where it's like, it's not a total drain to a woman's brain. But like jobs, like women do not do well with full-time jobs. Their brains are not made for it. They're just not made for that. But yeah, that's my rant on hypergamy having a limit, man. Yeah, the girl, she's working some regular job, I think in a mall somewhere, and like, I'm telling you, you look at her, you just would never, like, she was almost tomboyish. That's how it was. But she was almost like, she wasn't a tomboy, but she was almost tomboyish. It was just like, any guy who's dating her now would never guess and never know. I guarantee you. If you were to run into her and start dating her, unless I never fucked her, so I don't know if she does some crazy shit in bed or not. But like, you would never guess she worked in a brothel, man. And I guarantee, if I seen her in the mall, I would walk over and talk to her, and like, it would be weird because, like I said, I knew her in both of those worlds, so like, it would just be weird to me. But yeah, man, hypergamy has a limit. But like I said, it's usually a limit because they get pushed out. It's not because they had some decent morals about the situation and, oh, what would my future husband think if I did this? No, there's no morals in it. Like I say all the time, women don't have their morals are whatever they think a man wants. That's their morals. So like, yeah, man, like, it's, they usually, do respectable, women usually only do respectable things because they were forced out of what they originally wanted to do. But yeah, that's it.